Well, welcome everyone to another episode of Talk Franchise. Today I'm joined by Fatta Thapa, one of our multi-unit franchisees, who's had quite an interesting and successful story, not only within franchising, but with Home Instead as well. So rather than me do the introduction, Fatta, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, my name is Fatta. I run three home instead franchise offices, one in Greenwich, the other one, the second one in Lewisham and Suffolk, and the third office I have in Seven Oaks. Yeah, I've been doing this for nearly 10 years now.
Amazing. And when did you sort of accumulate those offices, if you will? Maybe I know the first one was in 2015, and how did it expand from there?
Yeah, 2015, the first office was Greenwich and Bexley. That was the very first one. I the most recent one is last year, which is Showroom, Petrudan, and Longfield office. Before that, in 2020, we had another franchise that is Lewisham and Shadak. Yeah,
Amazing. And you run those with your wife, Sonia?
yeah. My wife Sonia and me. Yeah.
Amazing. So today's episode is about how you made it a success. So I guess I'm going to start with kind of a broad question. What initially drew you to running your own business? Not necessarily a franchise, just doing something for yourself.
I always been kind of interested in business. Although in early days after finishing uni, I worked as an IT consultant and was teacher as well at one point. So I went into business in 2003 around that time. So I had various different businesses I tried my hands on. One particular was quite successful one. I did that for 10 years. So yeah, um, that's how, I mean, I always wanted to run my own business. When I worked, when I was a student, I work in a restaurant, things like that. So I wanted to own my own restaurant at one point, which I did as well. Yeah, I was very motivated by my family, my mom and dad, and things like that. Yeah.
And so, for someone who's kind of run your own businesses, what then drew you to franchising generally?
Well, franchising is something that I think it's a less risk business. That's the main thing, and you are not alone in the business. Running business can be quite lonely profession sometimes,
Yeah.
and franchising is especially the brand you have, the support you have from franchisors, plus the network of your co-owners, things like that. So it's a big support network that you get. So that's why I went into franchising, because the other thing is I was pretty much new for care business. So I needed some good brand that I wanted to go with, and Homestead was quite successful at that point. It still is, um, with the reputation in the market, you know.
Yeah.
So in the industry, yeah.
So the additional support and kind of the expertise within a field that you weren't yet experienced in, that was kind of what drew you to that model then.
Yeah, yeah.
And so obviously you started with Greenwich and Bexley in 2015. What was your experience like running just one franchise at the time?
Um, in early days, to be honest, it was very scary. But the business support manager, or we used to call them, the onboarding, the BP from national office was very good, very
Yeah.
supportive. She literally handhold us to basically do this new journey, especially for the first 6 months. Um, so yeah, initially it was quite scary, when the phone gonna ring and things
Hmm.
like that. But as we had the first client, then we started building clientels and the care pros. Then we actually enjoyed very much afterward. Yeah, we're still enjoying.
And so over the years, then you find your feet a little bit. The support that was put around you really starts to settle in. Is that then what leads you to want to expand then into the Lewisham and Southwark territory?
Yeah, yeah. I think over the last few years, like 8 9 years, we've been with Guinness and Bexley. The reputation we built locally, and the number of people that we basically came across, and the number of people life we touched in the process. We just wanted to do it more, really,
Yeah.
to be sure that other people can access the same service that we have, this outstanding service we provide. And plus the obviously business, it's a very successful model. If I did successfully one place, why not? Let's expand it more. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing kind of the story of how you expanded. You've then recently gone on to expand into the Shoreham, Petswood, and Longfield office. And how's that experience been for you for your kind of third territory?
It is a little different because the other two offices we started from scratch, so it was a new territory.
Right.
So basically the experience a little bit different new territory because you have to start everything from scratch. But the new office that I recently bought, Solon Petrol Longfield office, is a resale.
Mm-hmm.
So resale is already running that business already running for 6 years. So we had different challenges there.
Yeah.
But yeah, different experience. One, the good side is business already established.
Yeah.
So it was already profitable business. But the downside is when takeover happens, obviously there's a lot of uneasiness among the employees, and we have to manage that accordingly. So yeah, but it's a mix of experience, but I'm really enjoying that as well. Now it's very settled business now. People are settled. Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose another level of your experience within franchising, starting them from scratch as well as kind of managing the handover of a new business. So, all that in mind, then, you've got quite the experience and have built your kind of multi-unit portfolio. What would you say the foundations of your success throughout this journey have been?
Foundation of my success. Well, I think the recruiting the right people that fit with the mission and the values of home and state. Obviously, like-minded people there in the industry for the right reason.
Yeah.
I think my management style where I rather have this hands-off approach in my management where I empower my SLT and they basically deliver for me,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that employing the right people in the first place, and basically empowering them. As I said, they need to be fit with our value missions, the why factor, why they are in the industry.
Yeah, hugely important for Home Instead at every stage. So yeah, absolutely. So aside from kind of the management of your business itself, part of the success from where I'm sat has been your involvement in the local community. And
oh yes,
you've done lots of that.
You're very very right. The relationship we have built over the years with the community is a big contribution to success of business.
Yeah.
I must say that. Because me and my wife Sonia, we both been very active in the community. Even prior to coming to Home Instead, we've been already working in the community. We had our registered charity, and through that charity, we've been helping people already. The older people, the Gurkha communities. I work with the Alzheimer's Society, Skill and Care ambassador for the care career in care.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the amount of, especially the Gurkha community, because my dad was ex-Gurkha, so we have very good link with the Gurkha community, the veterans who are in their 80s now,
Yeah.
and people, basically this ex-Gurkha, when I don't know, you heard in 2008 when you had this high-profile campaign led by Joanna Lumley
Right.
for Gurkhas to be able to settle in UK. So when High Court ruled that they could settle in here, so is mass migration of older people in the borough in Greenwich where we live.
Right. Okay.
So and mass migration of older people never happened in any sort of. I mean, if you look at the history, you usually have younger people flying, immigrating to different country.
Yeah.
And these people, the older, and a lot of them had a issue with the English language that they couldn't really speak either. So yeah, so that's how we started in the community. And when we had no home instead, um, we went deep into community, especially the older people and people who lot of clients we get referral through the community events and our work with the community, including the care pro recruitment as well.
I see. So it has many benefits then to actually involve yourself in that way.
Yes, you have to, because that's how you get trust with the people. Then you I mean, any business, it's advertising and billboard is not enough.
Yeah.
You need to go deep down in the community to build that trust.
Right. Yeah. So actually, it serves as, in a way, another form of marketing, or as you say, a source of referrals, really, to get you out there. And I suppose everything that you come to be involved in demonstrates the kind of values that your business has as well. So in other ways, people can really buy into what the mission that you guys are on. During that, you mentioned some charity work, Fatta. Could you expand on that, please?
As I said earlier on, the charity was established in before even we joined Homestead. It was established in 2010, 11, around that time. So purely to help older Gurkhas that migrating to UK. And they were really struggling to have basically basic things like accessing the local services, accessing primary care, going to GP, pharmacy, because whole healthcare system in Nepal is different.
Yeah.
You can just go in get an antibiotic off the counter there, you can just tell, oh, I need this medication. And that's how they were born and brought up. And coming here, GP system, everything was really difficult for them. So we started helping them. Then we thought we need to register this charity. So in 2011, we registered a charity called Skills in Care. Through that, we not only help the Gurkhas, but now we support wider communities. For example, we have the Gurkha, community garden project, where we invite people who living with dementia, for example, and they can go and connect with how they, especially Gurkha, they are the main occupation for them back home is growing vegetables, for example.
Right. Yeah.
So we can connect that, going back to the like a retro kind of thing for them, and they sit down and talk to each other and basically helping people there, and also you've got other the allotment owners that is more wider community, and they can interact with them. It's a nice place to be, It's some these people, they may not go out at all to looking through the window. Rather good weather. Let's just go and sit in the garden and do a bit of work.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how the charity started. We had a funding from Ministry of Defense to get the garden getting going. It was a big um, bushy area, really overgrown. So we had to do basically cut everything, and we had about, I don't know how many tons of this rubble we had to throw from there. It was crazy.
You're doing some excavation work as well. No, that's honestly fantastic, and it certainly sounds like you got your hands full as well.
Mm.
I guess there's one thing on my mind that I think listeners might find useful. How do you maintain a connection to the communities as you increase your territories? For example, you're now spread across a larger geographical area. Is it harder, or are there just kind of techniques and management tools you've got to put in place to do that?
I think that's where the whole mindset from a single territory owner franchisee
Yeah,
and a multi-unit enterprise unit, more than three, then it's a completely different ball game
yeah,
in terms of community work. So it's boiled down to you can't do everything yourself. So you need to have right people in right place. In my three offices, we have community engagement officers
yeah.
who goes in the community to basically do the we in showroom, for example, we have a Chatterbox Cafe where they go and the people come and basically have a chat
Yeah.
over a coffee. In Greenwich, we have Sunday Hub for older people. We call companionship cafe, that one as well.
Right. Yeah.
For Lewisham, we have coffee mornings in a community center in the church, for example. So we got this community engagement officer who does that.
Yeah.
But then until now, I have been doing more high level of PR, for example, like connecting with the um, possible referral provider, for example. But now I am kind of in process of having more business development manager among within the three office who
Right.
can
Okay.
do
Yeah.
that level of work.
Yeah.
So I can then come out and more focus on business and maybe have multiple offices. I don't know, more than three.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep it building. So again, it comes down to the right people. You don't actually
Yeah,
have to lose. You
absolutely. I
don't have
think.
to lose that community involvement whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's all good when you have one office. You can go and do that because that's how you learn to do.
Hmm.
And but obviously, when you have multiple, you can't be three places at the same time.
Yeah.
Then it's a lot of work, a lot of dedication. So you need somebody dedicated for that role. I that's how I think.
Yeah. Find someone who's on the same wavelength with the same mission as
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I know Sonia can't be with us right now, but she's doing some fantastic things as well. She's been heavily involved in supporting women through the Girl Power Employee Club. Could you expand on that a little bit, please?
Yeah, they have this group. They I don't know why they call it girl power, but they call it girl power. Even a boy is there as well, so
Right. Okay.
they probably renamed that. But yeah, it basically support for the care professional, more informal. We do have care pro council, but that is become more formal.
Right.
They have to be members and be nominated and all that thing.
Hmm.
But this is very, very informal group of ladies who basically support each other. So recently, uh, one of our care pro sadly had a cancer, and through that treatment, she had to be supported. And this girl power group really supported her throughout the family. Unfortunately, we lost her. She lost the battle with cancer, but then after passed away, the girl power again went out and support the family's daughter and things like that. So they basically look out for each other, and they meet at a coffee shop and have a bit of fun as well. So enjoy, celebrate, share those kind of things. Yeah.
Wow. Another amazing initiative there.
Yeah.
So another one, you've created the Sunday Volunteer Club. Could you expand on that, please?
Oh yes, this is we partnered with the Charlton Athletic Community Trust, which
Okay.
is part of Charlton Athletic Football Club.
Right.
So the community trust got a fantastic venue within the stadium, within the valley, they call it.
Right.
And there they have this place not used on Sunday, basically, absolutely not been used. And we spoke to the football club and the local council, and I said, can we use this for our community work, for example?
Yeah.
So they made this available free of charge for us. So that's what I touched base early on. So we have Sunday hub, we call it. So it initially started to support the Gurkha community as well, but then later we have dance classes going on there. There's people coming, children coming to learn maths, for example, and older people coming in and knitting, and there's cookery, there's big kitchen as well. So yeah, we are there every Sunday from 10 till 4.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, we do support people, homeless people, for example. We had work with the Marks and Spencer surplus food. We collect that and give it to these people. They come and collect it from there. Yeah,
There's
that's
there's
the Sunday hub basically. Yeah.
Wow, there is so much going on that it's
Yeah.
genuinely amazing
We-
to hear it all, and it is testament to yourself and Sonia. So, I mean, we could talk forever about these things, but I'm going to try and steer it back onto the franchising discussion,
Yeah.
if you don't mind. So we've discussed the importance of community involvement, the importance of people being at the center of it all. If you recruit the right people, you know, that could the who are on the same mission and have the same values, then that'd be huge for your business. Could you summarize maybe what some of the top advantages are of being part of a franchise are, and how they will help your business as well?
Well, in particular to home instead or the generic franchise?
Well, why don't we start generally talking about franchising and how that model actually helps, and then yeah, we'll go on to home instead specifically and your experience with that.
As I said before, franchising is the lowest risk business. That success rate is very high. Where if you go on your own in business, I read somewhere only 2% of small businesses have become successful.
Right. Yeah.
Where franchise is other way around, maybe 2% may fail. So it's a high. Basically chances of success at low risk. So that's the main thing. And also say any franchisors basically would have some support system. For example, you are not alone in the business. So one, you have a support system whole. They basically, if I say home instead, for example, we have given all the tools and techniques. Everything was given to us. We just have to go and deliver it in our area. Like you say, we give you a Ferrari and you drive it basically. so yeah, franchising, that's for that region. And other thing what I like about franchising is you have this like-minded group of people you come across. So for the franchise owners, other franchise owners, the key players, the care pros, I really enjoy that part and franchising. The most important is, for example, the support. Just take example of legal support.
Yeah.
So if we have tomorrow you have any lawsuit from employee or whatever, then you have that. For example, in our case, we have outcomes that we can get in touch, and they are there. The back of your head, back of your mind, you know that the support system is there. And definitely franchising, I would recommend people, if especially if you new feel that you don't know much about.
Yeah.
So better to be with the franchising. Yeah.
So I suppose franchises generally can be there to fill in some
Yeah.
of the gaps. And even though it's your business and you're leading it, that actually you've got that support as well. I think that you mentioned before that it makes the experience far less lonely.
Yeah.
Particularly in a brand like Home Instead that, that's growing. We've got 260 territories now. That's quite
Yeah.
a big community of those like-minded individuals, like you say. Our annual conference is quite something when everyone
Yeah,
gathers.
yeah.
So
I mean, we have a local owners group, for
yeah,
example. I mean, at least I have 5 um, franchise owners that in my speed dial, for example. We talk every day. Yeah. So and we have a London owners, Kent owners, and plus obviously national office that organizes
yeah,
like summer events and the conference. Um, yeah, I think that the support from co-owners is amazing
yeah.
within Homestead. I don't know about other franchise. I haven't had a experience of any other franchisors, but with Homestead, I can see that people, you particularly, your job is to basically visit the franchise development journey.
Yeah.
So I think choosing right people for you guys also is important, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think everyone at Homestead in particular, whether you're looking to purchase a franchise, whether you're looking to work at the national office in the support teams or any of the offices, I think we're all recruited through through the same means. Similar questions, trying to identify who we are as people. So everywhere you look, effectively, you've got people who are working towards the same thing, and that's really
Yeah,
quite powerful.
absolutely, yeah.
So we'll be closing up soon, Fatta. I really do appreciate your time. It's an amazing experience that you've had, and the kind of expansion of your businesses and the involvement that seems to never end with you guys. It's genuinely amazing. So thank you for sharing all of this. I'm going to end, I guess, on one final question. People will listen to this maybe because they're thinking about franchises themselves. Maybe they are thinking about joining Home Instead, or they just want to know more about the industry. What advice would you give to people out there who might be considering looking into franchising?
People looking if they want to do business and they want to go into franchising route, the advice I would give, not necessarily in care, I think the brand value, brand reputation
Yeah.
is the key, because you buying that brand, the identity, and they all say similar thing if you talk to them,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. But you need to do enough research yourself before coming to Home Instead. I at least met with 6, 7 different
Yeah.
franchisors in care itself, and basically when I met Home Instead, it's clicked basically.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, the whole thing, how we were dealt with, how we were greeted, how we were welcome, the the openness as well. There was nothing hidden. Everything was open conversation. Even the financial. Obviously, when you come to business, you want to make sure that you make some money, right? And being open and honest from the beginning is really helpful. So if somebody doesn't give you figures, and they try to basically um, let's say I say, okay, I will give you, but you have to commit or things like that. Then there must be some problem there. So at least you can give the top line figure, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the brand, the what support system they have, for
Yeah.
example, not all the franchisors would have same support system. Um, so some of them will charge you a different levy and things like that. Yeah, I think my advice is, if you're thinking of embarking into business,
Mm-hmm.
definitely consider franchising, because you're not alone, but still you are a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
And the possibility to grow within the franchising is enormous, especially with the multi-unit ownership, those kind of things. When I joined Homestead, there wasn't multi-unit opportunities, but now more and more you are selling resales and things like that. I think, yeah. So that look at what are the prospect as well, a prospect in the future as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What sort of ask the right question, and also do your research properly before you commit to any franchise brand. Yeah, reputation is the main thing, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's really solid advice. And from where I'm sat, you know, if you can buy into a brand as yourself and Sonia have done, that you actually align with in that way, you know, that will just supercharge it. So I think one thing that I'll add to your great advice is to find something that matches you. You know, what drives you, what are your values, because with that support, you know, with an honest and transparent brand, and a helpful and a helpful experience throughout that discovery and recruitment process, you know, it all comes together to give people a great opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, choose what you love. Basically, that's the main thing. You should be able to enjoy your business. Thinking that I really love this business because I know the difference I'm making. And always do a business. If you want to go in franchising, they always look for what's the mission or vision of the company, the franchisors. Okay, your vision, does it align? The values, does it align?
Yep.
And then only you can enjoy. Then the business grows, success comes, and you enjoy it more because you know you are making the. I mean, you're contributing to the great vision. For example, if our mission, Homestead global mission is, we want to expand the world capacity to care. And just thinking about it, it's really big mission, and contributing towards that at local level to achieve that big goal is something. So really that resonate with my thinking as well. So I feel like I'm contributing to a bigger goal.
I think it's really obvious that you are, genuinely. And so, look, on that note, thank you. I think the advice is great. I think that some people listening will hopefully be inspired by the kind of journey that you've had. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing all of that today, Fatta. And
thank you, Luke. Thank you for opportunity to share my experience, and hopefully people listening would benefit from it. Yeah, thank you.
I'm sure they will. Thanks. Have a lovely day, Fatta.
And you too. Thanks, Luke.
Thanks. Bye-bye.